Back on immigration, if I could, Jay. So the cost of this grand compromise is some $30 billion total over the next 10 years. Isn't this an expensive overkill, as Dick Durbin has said it is? Does the White House believe that it's overkill? And is it necessary? Is a border surge really necessary, since the administration has been saying that the border is secure? Why would we spend $30 billion more dollars?
Well, let me just be clear that the President has overseen substantial improvements in our border security, and that has been testified to by independent observers as well as Republicans in Congress, and there's data to back that up, incontrovertible data, including the substantial increase already in the border security presence, the border patrol agents who have been put on the ground. It is also true when it comes to costs that the Independent Congressional Budget Office released their score of the Senate's bipartisan immigration reform bill, now prior to this amendment, and found that the bill would reduce the deficit over the next 10 years by $197 billion and about $700 billion over the following decade. That's $900 billion. So I think that is an important thing to note when we're talking about what additional costs might be incurred if this amendment emerges and is included in the bill and passed by the Senate, and hopefully ultimately in a form that meets the President's principles, passed through Congress and onto his desk. So there is no question that we have done a great deal to improve our border security. The President made clear when he outlined his principles for comprehensive immigration reform that enhanced border security needed to be a central element to this process and to any comprehensive immigration reform legislation. So that has been a priority of his from the beginning. So we welcome the progress on this issue by the Senate. We await the details as they work on them of this amendment, but we certainly support improved border security.
But does improved border security need one agent every 1,000 feet? I mean, is there a point where this is, as Senator Durbin said, this is overkill, and that we're, as the old saying goes, a billion here, pretty soon you're talking about some real money. $30 billion is still a lot of money.
There's no question, and I would simply say that to evaluate the specifics of this amendment before it's been filed would be premature. I would simply say that it does represent substantial bipartisan progress that reflects the bipartisan progress we've seen overall in the Senate, beginning with the Gang of Eight's work and the proposal that passed through committee, continuing as we've seen the debate on the floor. And we commend Democrats and Republicans for the work they've done thus far, and we look forward to final the final submission of this amendment and consideration of the full bill and passage in the Senate.